Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Bwaaa, King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty. Another day, another special guest.
Yeah.
This is a repeater.
Yeah, this is a repeat guest. This is Jayden Libran. He's been with us before. Yeah,
Jayden.
he was with us in the earlier stages of the show, and,
Yeah.
and now that he's back, we brought him back to kind of reintroduce himself and give him an opportunity to promo some stuff, and then also. I respect his craft and what he does, and I wanted to see what his take on the revival is. As we'll be discussing the revival, I'm sure pretty often.
The one of
from
King
now
of the
until
Hill, right?
King of the Hill. Obviously,
okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we'll discuss
this is just a
some
tent revival
thoughts,
that you
feelings, and
enjoy.
ideas on it. Yeah, tent revival. No, not here. Jayden, go ahead and introduce yourself again and give us a rundown of what you do, what you've done, and what you plan on doing in the future.
That's all. Just
Hi there, fellas. It's good to be back, and let me just offer you a 5% discount on your next propane fill-up. I tell you what.
So generous.
Hi, my name is Jayden Libran. I'm a voice actor and impressionist from Los Angeles, California. I've been noted as one of the best Hank Hill impersonators out there, so I've even gotten some praise from Mike Judge and other cast members of King of the Hill, and got to work with Mike Judge on Beavis and Butthead. We've got new episodes rolling out on Comedy Central now.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday after South Park, so you can catch me on that. And we've got a new season coming to Paramount Plus sometime this summer. So,
Okay.
I've got lots of voice stuff coming up as well. I've got a pilot that I'm working on for Cartoon Network and several animated projects in the works. And I heard King of the Hill was coming back, so, I threw my hat in the ring and let them know that I was interested if they're ever casting.
Yeah,
That is
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I hope you get that. No, I hope you get to be a part of the show. That would be I'm sure that would be like the pinnacle of it all, starting with the shout out for Mike Judge with the Hank Hill voice, to get to be a part of the show. That'd be pretty nuts.
It all started from me just posting a video in late 2020 of me doing Hank, and it just blew up over Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. And lo and behold, the fact that Mike Judge himself liked it and messaged me about it was fascinating in and of itself. So, I hope we can continue to work together. It's really good.
Yeah,
That's
I hope
great,
I hope it all comes to fruition for you. Yeah, we're hoping that with this new revival, and I've also been in contact with a couple of people that are attached to the show as well. Specifically, the animation director. I've kind of talked to him a few times, and we hope to kind of revel in some success maybe with the revival and get some bigger attention to the show and stuff like that, because we really enjoy doing it. And if we could ever do anything in collaboration with anybody affiliated with the show, period, I think that would be that'd be a blessing. That would be the pinnacle of doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was it Wes Archer, if I may ask?
Yeah, it was Wes Archer actually. Wes Archer's
Yeah.
he's very responsive on
great.
social media. Yeah, he's very responsive to fans and stuff on social media. And
Right.
he was actually one of the first people attached to the show that responded to me at all in any capacity. And it was, I don't know, it's been a while since I first contacted him. I've contacted him since the first time I contacted him, but the very first time he had said, "Can't really talk about anything to do with King of the Hill right now. I'll have to wait a little while." Okay, so I reached out
Yeah,
again.
that was what I was hearing from
Yeah.
everybody was we can't say anything now, but like I think we all sort of knew that a King of the Hill revival was on the way. It was just
Yeah.
a matter of when, and it looks like now things should go in full swing. I was in the know about the reboot a few days before they actually announced it.
Oh wow,
A
okay.
friend of mine who worked on Simpsons, it was the showrunner for Simpsons, told me that they were doing writers' rooms for King of the Hill for the revival. And so I thought, oh, well, if they're having the writing session, then it must be soon. And then I think the day after was when they announced it on Hulu.
Wow,
So,
that's
That's
cool.
awesome. I was pretty excited about the
it's
revival.
really coming along.
I was pretty excited about it. It blew Twitter up, you know. It blew Twitter up that day. It was I don't know, it was it's kind of, you know, it's kind of cool cuz we started the podcast with the hopes that eventually a revival would happen, but we weren't really expecting, you know, we were hopeful, but we weren't really expecting one this early into our, you know, the podcast. We've only been doing it now about a year. So we weren't expecting a revival a year into doing our podcast. And I want to note, Jayden, for you and for everybody else that's listening, we're the only King of the Hill podcast that currently is produced, edited, recorded, the cultural understanding contextually of what it is to be Texas and Texan. So I think that is what's going to set us apart from other King of the Hill podcasts that are, you know, popping up now. The revival.
We have been designated.
You got the authenticity factor.
Yeah, we've been
definitely.
designated the unofficial official podcast of all things King of the Hill. Yeah. My little society.
Yeah, if I can, it'll take some push and pull. But if I could manage to get Mike Judge on here, then you know that'll be your best episode.
Oh, we'd love to.
That we'd love. That would be an episode that would that would be good. That would be. I feel like that would be one of those things that and, you know, and I don't even care to have, like, I do want him on the show, but just him knowing that we exist would be enough for me, like gratification period for me. I don't even care if he was ever a guest. I do want him to be a guest, obviously.
Oh,
but
yeah.
just the gratification of him knowing that there's a King of the Hill podcast in Texas, an hour away from where he potentially lives in Austin. So we're not far from anything King of the Hill. The archive in San Marcos is only like a 2-hour drive away from us. So like we're geographically 40 miles from anywhere Arlen could potentially be at too. So, you know, I feel like that's pretty unique for a King of the Hill podcast.
So what are our hopes and feels for this for the reboot? What are we hoping?
You know, I don't know. I'm thinking that they're going to keep things the same, the same age and stuff. There's been speculation about them aging them up 15, 20 years, which is a fun idea. But, you know, they've got Pamela Adlon back as Bobby. I don't know that'll work as a grown-ass man voice, but who knows? Maybe she could pull it off.
Maybe.
They've got everybody else back, so we know that everyone's very much alive. You know, Bill's not going to be dead because they've clearly got Stephen Root back, and
absolutely.
Johnny Hardwick is back as Dale and all the rest. My guess is that Khan will likely be recast.
Yeah.
Toby Huss wasn't listed there, but my guess is, you know, they'll hire a very talented Asian American actor to portray Khan and do him some respect there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how they'll handle Luann and Lucky there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, though, them switching Khan out? Like, how do you feel about that, considering that in its run, King of the Hill was awarded by a Asian American organization. They gave them an award for their portrayal of the Laotian community. So how does that dynamic? I understand the world that we live in, but the fact that, I mean, it was a show that was awarded and it treated it in a respectful manner. How does that change the dynamic between having a actual Asian voice actor to having a non-Asian voice actor doing that role?
Well, I think representation matters and authenticity matters.
Absolutely.
It would be like doing a biopic on Martin Luther King and having him played by like Michael J. Fox or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to have some sort of representation, authenticity that you can bring for that role, and I think whomever they hire is going to do a wonderful job, just as good, if not better, than the one that we've known to know and love. But it's important, and it's a good step to give people who haven't had many roles an opportunity. I honestly can't think of very many Asian American voice actors, and I'd like to know more. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think
that would be great.
The door to more.
And that's what I would like to see too. I would like to see it be an Asian American voice actor that has maybe never had a major role before, or this is their major role. You know what I mean? I'd like to. I totally agree with you. I was just I was just kind of seeing where you felt on that, since they were kind of awarded an award for for doing justice to whatever the award was pertaining to in the Asian
and that's
community.
all good, but there's still much more that can be done, and they can
absolutely.
do more.
Yeah,
and I think
that's cool. I like your take on that for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. There definitely needs to be if it's a black role, it needs to have a black voice actor. If it's a Asian role, it needs to have an Asian voice actor. If it's a Indian role, it needs to have an Indian voice actor. If it's a Native American role, it needs to have a Native American voice actor. Otherwise, I don't know. I agree with you. There definitely needs to be more representation in media. Period. If it's like back in the day, whenever you had a Native American role in a movie, and it was either a white guy or Hispanic guy. When you have millions of Native Americans in the United States, and then there's probably hundreds of thousands of them that want to be actors and want to be, and there's probably thousands of them that are good at it. So it's it's great. Now I like that. I really hope that it gives some young voice actor. Somebody on Fiverr some great opportunity, out there on their grind. Yeah, no, I'd love to see it. Yeah.
So what do we think about Lucky and Luann? What do we what do we do?
Do you think they wish them away, or yeah?
I got one of two solutions to that. One, I've got a great friend, Bailey Hatchell, that does an amazing Luann, and I've got a clip of that, and we animated her voice to sync up perfectly, and it's like Brittany Murphy's still there.
Yeah.
If they're doing a recast, I would throw in my friend Bailey to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of two things is recast Luann, kill off Lucky, because he was always sort of on the dangerous side. So I think Luann as a single mother could be an interesting take.
Well, he slipped.
Or
he slipped
if
and
they're
fell.
aging it up, or maybe keeping things the same, then this could be a story of the Hills raising Gracie, and both parents are gone or dead or something like that, and they've taken on Gracie, and maybe she's become like a second Luann.
Yeah.
And we see them 10, 15 years later, seeing how they're doing. So
that'd be interesting.
It's just that'll be I guess that'd be her great uncle Hank then. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are of them?
Dynamic, but
yeah. What do you think the odds are of them aging everybody up? Do you think that's what are you leaning more towards them aging everybody up to address all of like the societal issues we have today, or do they just live in 2023 but in the King of the Hill atmosphere?
I think I would prefer the latter. I'd like to see. I don't know that I want to see like an aging Bill or an aging Hank, with back problems and graying hairs and stuff like that. I want to see them as we recognize them. I think the whole purpose of animation is that the characters are ageless and timeless, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if, every 20 years there's a new Charlie Brown cartoon that he's a lot older and older and older.
Yeah, eventually he's got to die. Like, when does he die? If you're going to age him up, if you age him up, they have to die at some point. Like, you can't just have unless Charlie Brown has a son, and then you've got Charlie Brown 2, Charlie Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown, I can imagine
that. It can
that.
work. There's many ways that we could see so many different character dynamics. There's Good Hank, there's Gracie, There's so many other characters. There's Bobby and Joseph and Connie, of course, and we can see how they're doing in their late teens or adult lives. So many areas that we could explore there. Or if we keep it the same, then we can see how they're doing in the modern world. And I think both of those are perfectly fine.
Yeah, because Bobby, if you aged him up like 15 years, he would be nearly 30. So that would be, I think that would be interesting to see a 30-year-old Bobby and a 30-year-old Con Jr. With a baby. You know, I think that would be, I don't know, I think that'd be weird. And maybe, I don't, one of the things that I envision, there's so many different scenarios that I think about when I think about a revival, but one of the scenarios that I think about is that Bobby ends up being the, you know, model son that he wants later in his life. He ends up being the propane salesman. He ends up wearing the white shirt, the blue jeans, and then we get a image of Bobby, maybe like Bobby, Joseph, maybe Dooley, Stuart Dooley, and what's the other kid's name? Oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. The one that's
Randy.
Randy, and they're all four standing in the alley
That's
drinking
right.
a beer. I think that would be funny. I think that would be like a funny starting sequence. It's just those four guys standing over a Tesla that's like broke down with like smoke coming out of like the battery area or something. They're all like, well, yep, looks like you're gonna need a new Tesla or so, you know, something. I don't know, whatever, you know. I think that'd be really funny. Way to start it out, like how they started out, you know, season 1. They're all four standing in front of the Hank's truck saying,
That's
"Yep."
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
funny.
everybody aged up, and I
I kinda wanna see it.
I want some people dead.
I do want them to age them up, and I don't. I do for the fact that I just want to see what, because it's not different people creating it. It's the original 1996 crew here that's doing this, and that's rare opportunity to have every returning person from a show.
Yeah.
And from storyboards to everything, to have a complete piece of what you had before. I would like to see what all their takes are, because they've had 15 years to marinate on you know, their body of work for 13 seasons. They've had the opportunity to marinate on it and to get feedback from, you know, tons of fans and family members, I'm sure, that have input. I'm sure they probably hear it from everybody.
Well, just society
in general that likes the show. And I just want to see what their take is, what their take would be. Now, if we don't get it, that's cool. But I would like to see how they approached aging them. I do want to see some dead folks. Cotton cannot exist in an aged up world.
I just wanted to know what a time to be alive and to be a fan of animation, especially towards those that grew up in the 90s.
Oh, absolutely. It's a
this
revival.
year alone, or this year and next year, we've got Ren and Stimpy, Futurama, King of the Hill, so many 90s properties, Beavis and Butthead. So many things are coming back, Clone High. And it's so fun that now we can introduce a new generation of people to the dynamics and writing styles and characters that may have been forgotten in time, you know. And
that's beautiful.
Great King of the Hill coming back.
I'm really excited too on the King of the Hill revival, but I'm also really excited for this Cartoon Network revival, this reinvigoration at the Cartoon Network. I actually correspond with John Fountain from he's one of the directors. I don't know his official title, but he's a director over with Cartoon Network, and he's been kind of alluding to some great things coming out of Cartoon Network in the next year or so. And the fact that they announced that they're going back to what they were great at, and that was not creating, you know, just animated stuff for children, but creating animated content, period. Just doing animated content, which is, you know, if anybody knows the history of animation was never for children to begin with anyway. It was for adults.
That's right.
So anybody that wants to infantilize everybody's obsession with cartoons, just know that your grandpappy was sitting in a nickel and dime theater watching cartoon reels, because that is what was, you know, the intended audience for cartoons is adults. And that's why when you go back and you watch so many cartoons, they're laden with like SpongeBob is probably the most
Yeah,
like one that comes to mind.
innuendo.
So much innuendo. As far as
Yeah.
like current shows that are like being produced today, the one that sticks to my mind the most is like SpongeBob as a body of work of shows that have like adult innuendo just throughout it all. Like Pearl
Right.
calling him daddy and she's a whale and he's a crab. Like is it sugar daddy or is it hey that's her dad? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sexualize his teenage daughter if that's what she is, but it definitely is. You know, there's definitely a discussion to be had there about sugar daddy stuff. But you know, yeah. So we appreciate you coming back on, and yeah, we'd love to have you again. You know, maybe after the show airs, we'll have you on again, and we could discuss some stuff about the show again.
Yeah, man, it was really
Yeah,
nice
for
to
sure.
really
I mean,
nice to
before
hear
we
from
dip,
you again.
do you-
Yeah. Do you got anything you want to promo before we sign off?
Nothing that comes to mind, but if you guys want like a quick Q&A from Hank, I'd be happy to do that.
Oh,
as
that'd be
we have
wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be
folks
great.
up.
Yeah.
Bwaaa trucks fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
So, Mr. Hill,
Yeah.
can you tell me how in a 2023 world is propane selling these days?
Well, let me tell you something with the goddamn solar panels and lithium batteries. Not quite as well as it used to, but like old Dad used to say, well, he mostly yelled at me and guess it wasn't really inspirational, but I'd assume he'd say something in favor of propane, and it'll probably come back someday.
Sure. How could it not? I mean, it is from the earth, of the earth, by the earth, for Texans.
What do you feel? How do you feel about the United States military blowing up the natural propane gas line in between Russia and Western Europe? How do you feel like that
Hey,
affects
what?
the market?
God damn it! Just when I thought we'd have a good working pipeline, people goddamn blow it up.
Well, staying kind of on that same topic, Mr. Hill, what did you see the Chinese spy balloon that we shot down? What do you make of that?
I tell you what, I thought that was one of Bill's schemes, like when he got tied to that weather balloon. I'd have shot him down myself, but it was too high up, and Bill's not that great of a swimmer.
Sure. Well, that's very nice of you not to want to kill Bill. I guess that's good.
And then I guess one last question for you. How do you feel about the United States military shooting down UFOs over Alaska?
Well, I don't know too much about what goes on up there in Alaska, but I do know they've got a pretty goddamn good supply of propane. As long as it doesn't hit the supply, we're all goddamn good, I tell you what.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Hill.
you,
We
Mr.
appreciate
Hill.
you coming in and giving us a
Yeah.
couple of responses to some crazy news articles we've noticed over the last.
Yeah, we've missed you,
few
Mr. Hill.
days.
We really
appreciate
we
it.
Thank
really
you, and
appreciate
I'll
you being
be
here.
sure to mail you a brochure for Strickland Propane.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
fantastic.
sir.
I need some new reading. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jayden. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Jayden. We'll
Thank
talk
you
to
for
you
having
soon.
me.
All right, take it easy.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was great. He was back. It's first
Yeah, that was his
first
second
guest that's
time.
ever come back.
Yeah, that's his first
I-
second time guest.
At least we know it didn't stink in here, I guess, or,
yeah, I guess
or whatever.
so. Yeah, we appreciate him coming on.
Or he's gone nose blind with us. What's amazing to me is that this guy has made a career out of doing this, and like he said, what a great time to be alive as far as animation goes.
Yeah, there's a lot of revival, especially for all of us who have watched a lot of these shows that are coming back around. The one I'm really most excited for is King of the Hill, obviously, but I'm ready to because I think there's a maybe one or two crossover voice actors for this, but Futurama is one that I'm pretty excited for too. That was a great show. It's one of my favorite anime
I will
shows
tell you
from anime.
this, that I didn't know about the Ren and Stimpy revival,
Yeah,
and so I
didn't
am
know
super
either.
excited
Yeah,
about that.
Well, actually, I'll take that back. I'm pretty excited for that one too.
I
Yeah,
will
that
take
might
some
be
Ren and
top
Stimpy.
3. Yeah, I really like Ren and Stimpy.
Don't whiz on the electric. electric fence.
Yeah, don't. It is
Hey, you
not
wanna hear the-
recommended to piss on electric fences.
You want to hear the log song?
Do I have a choice at this point? No, go
You
ahead.
don't.
Go
You
ahead.
don't. What rolls downstairs alone or in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. What fits on your back is good for a snack. It's log, log, log. It's log. It's log. It's good. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood. It's log. It's log. It's better than bad. It's good. You're
All
welcome.
right, there we go.
You're welcome.
Mason with the resounding thumbs
He
down.
gave me a thumbs
It
down.
Was, the thumbs down was so loud.
Was
I'm
it the
pretty
singing?
sure that yeah, you could hear that in the background. Very.
I don't
faintly.
know if you know this or not though, Mason. My generation, we sat through a lot of like talk singing. Like there were a lot of people out there that talk sang. You know, like if you look at Captain Spock, or not Captain Spock, Major Spock. What is he? The General Spock.
I like the sing-song voice sound.
and Captain Picard, or what's the other one? What's the original one?
Kirk.
Kirk.
Oh yeah, Captain Kirk.
I loved his music.
To go where
You should know that.
no
That is
man.
that is literally your generation.
no, come on, don't date it mad hard.
I'm
now.
just kidding.
The first
I
first
love
Star
Battlestar
Trek,
Galactica. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
With Captain Kirk.
Yeah, Captain
It was
Kirk.
good.
I really enjoy his speech patterns. They are nonsensical and
I
yeah, you know,
loved.
his voice
this
kills
episode.
me. Yeah.
This wasn't even close. All right. Well, you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at bwaaakoth on Linktree. That's linktr.ee/bwaaakoth. And again, any interactions, we're looking for DMs on any of our social medias. If you message your address, we'll get you some stickers. We're doing that for
Not DPs.
DMs.
DMs.
Definitely not DPs.
Okay.
Dr. Peppers, yes.
Dr.
So, yeah,
Peppers.
we're doing Dr. Peppers here. If you send an address, we'll ship you some stickers. The next 8 people that do it will get more than just a sticker. They'll get more than just one sticker. We're willing to send stickers to anybody.
Oh, I'll send
If you want a
stickers to your
sticker.
mom's mom,
To your mom's mom, and then we'll slap it on the casket
but not
for
to
you.
your father's mom.
Not to your father's mom.
She has done it. She has proved herself to me one too many times.
I heard that she spits loogies in the Thanksgiving
Well,
stuffing.
she's like a damn what do you call those alpaca? They go,
She stores her
just-
spit in a jar, and then she pours a cup of it in every meal.
wow, that's
I'm
gross.
kind of more curious as to how she generates that much spit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, when you have the
Very
size of the
salivated.
neck that she does, I mean,
It just the saliva glands
I
on that
guess,
woman
I
have to
don't
be the size of grapefruit.
I was thinking.
Whatever. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is a week's worth of content we're recording today, so I'm just letting you know it may be a little punchy at the end here. But hey, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, check us out online. Also, if you could head over to Hotel Arlen Hotel Arlen on Twitter. I need for everyone in the sound of my voice, fish, women, children, horses, all, to head over to Twitter, find Hotel Arlen, follow it, and post something. That's going to be our hangout spot.
And also, I want to give our deepest condolences to everybody in East Palestine, Ohio. I meant to mention that in every other episode that we did this week, but it's not being really reported in the news, and it's kind of shady that it's not, and it kind of like irks me because I keep up with the news pretty heavily on a daily basis, and the local government there allowed vinyl chloride to be burned and leaked into the area where this train derailed. And I don't know that there's any other way to resolve what they happened. I don't know what the contingencies are for a big spill like that. I don't work for OSHA, so I don't know any
They
of
said
that,
it was
like
a
safety
controlled
stuff.
release. Or
But whatever's going on, they're talking about waters being contaminated, livestock and crops are being destroyed, reporters are being arrested that are trying to report on this.
Yeah.
And this is a small Ohio conservative state. So this is a state that is going to want to try to cover things up, I'm sure. And they want to try to consolidate as much of it as they can, because eventually you're going to have TV shows being interrupted in 5 years with, if you were at East Palestine, Ohio,
true.
contact this number for a class action lawsuit.
Camp Lejeune is the big one now.
Yeah,
I
Camp
see that
Lejeune.
all the time.
Yeah, that's
Camp Lejeune.
that was for Agent Orange or something, wasn't it? Is that what it is?
No,
or
it was
earbuds?
contaminated water
Oh, contaminated
also.
water. water. I had a buddy that was stationed in Camp Lejeune actually, and I had a buddy
got a number
that
for him.
he's a part of the class action lawsuit right now for the earbud thing from 3M, where they're getting sued by the United States military or whatever.
I don't know about the earbuds.
I don't know. Yeah, well, they didn't give them proper ear control, ear safety buds. They gave them ones that weren't rated for the stuff that they were doing, so they had a higher incidence of disability after people were retiring for ear issues that were from that particular time frame when they were using those earbuds.
Like tinnitus, or their ears falling
No,
off?
it's just like their hearing is just like it takes it like hearing loss. When you're a jet fueler and you're fueling jet airplanes and you're right by the planes where they're loud and stuff, it ruins your hearing.
As someone who's never fueled a jet, I can understand.
The East Palestine stuff is being compared to Chernobyl. They don't know the impact right now on it. I imagine it's not radiological, so it's going to be different, the impact, because there's no radiation.
Yeah.
But you got to think they release thousands of gallons of stuff, liquids, the stuff that is a liquid, into the water table there. So we just wanted to give them our deepest condolences to those people.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, great episode. Well, it's the world we live in. It's another one of those weird, crazy news articles in this new world that we live in.
We want to thank Jayden again for being on.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jayden.
Thanks for being a friend of the show, and we will see you guys again next time.
We Madonna.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.